Here we are. We are in it. This is going to be the second semifinals in the Frank and Algo Stormgate tournament. And here in the bottom left, playing the red celestial pieces, this is HYI. HYY. See, I can't even do it right. HYY. You want to take the second one here? Mixu. Exactly. Here we are, and once again, we're in a Celestial versus Celestial. So, were you saying earlier, was Mixu playing Celestial the whole time today, or?
I believe it was Mixu versus Game Friend was the VVV that I watched. Hmm. Naughty, naughty.
All right, I also had to turn you back on because
Oh
when
no,
I
I've been
because
speaking.
when I switched scenes, when I switched scenes, you got muted again. So,
Ay, ay, ay.
but it's working. We're all back at it. We're good. Good.
Perfect.
Nothing's
Community
happened.
community tournaments at their best, right?
Exactly. This is the best tournament on right now.
That's that's just factual.
Exactly. No one
Um,
can disagree.
let's see here. Okay, so in the CVC matchup, I don't think I've seen a Celestial Mirror matchup this tournament yet, or this patch yet. To be honest, I've been spending most of my time laddering. What have you noticed about the Mirror matchup that we should be watching out for?
Well, in the last match, which we just watched, MC versus Yoru, both playing Celestial, they kind of went one base Argent battles. And right now, what I'm noticing is HYY is on four collection arrays, which is the opposite of what we were seeing earlier. So this must be a different meta.
Yeah, I have noticed that at least in the Discord anyway, people have been talking about Argent Ball versus Argent Ball, and whoever has more just wins. Um, but we've also been seeing people mix in some Kree into the mix as well, just because they have that faster move speed. They can kind of outrun the Argents and force them into chokes, and they don't take the bonus anti-heavy damage that the Argents do. So they're surprisingly tanky, and they do a little bit of AOE, which when your opponent is massing one type of unit, AOE is great, and it's pretty low on the tech tree.
I agree with you a lot. In fact, we did see that earlier out of Yoru, how he made it to the semifinals was playing against Curious, and we watched one of their games, and exactly what you said, adding some Kree in there seemed to really help. They seem to be quite tanky on that front line, and then all of a sudden your Argents in the back line are getting all their shots off, melting some of those other Argents. So it worked out pretty well for him there.
I think it'll also be a battle of when to use Purify. Purify is really good at keeping your guys' energy charged up, but I think it also deletes your opponent's energy, doesn't it? So like
Oh, I don't even
if
know
you
if
can
that's
make
true. It sounds like it's
I
true
if
because Purify is the best thing ever.
Purify is crazy.
Yeah. We just saw an evolution catalyst go off from Mixo there to capture the Luminite. He may have done that with Ethereum as well. And HYY is trying to maybe push back with his art. Oh, they're getting caught out. A few of them picked off by Mixu. We might get in our first battle here.
Yeah, we already here in well, we're 4.5 minutes in. It's about the right time. It just feels quick because time flies when you're having fun. But
Yeah.
I kind of oh
Uh,
no, it looks like Mixu's got the better arc.
yeah.
But does he?
But HYY is pushing forward bravely. And it's not clear who got the most Argents there. And this is sort of what we were seeing in this last series between Mixu, or sorry, between MC and Yoru, is a different style of micro. Who's focus firing? How many of your units are you boxing to focus fire? And are you just relying on sort of the concave to help your units sort of automatically select those good units to target? All
Yeah.
comes down to that.
And speaking of this new patch, I've been looking at the production tab up in the upper right, our fancy schmancy new production tab, and it looks like both of their oh, we've got 2 Guardian Nexuses coming out for high, but I did see one Seraphim pop out for Mixu, so he's got his Legion Hall somewhere. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
But what is he? Is it just going to be
Yeah, what's
a way?
that
Oh, is
about?
he just? He might just be using it to capture different camps. Like he's just going to fly
Oh,
along.
fly
Yep,
around. Yeah.
might as well.
And for the moment, he's going for the healing. Oh, wait, he pulled it back. That was probably just a miss micro. Oh, wait a second. We have HYY's up in the base. Did he get the creation chamber? Or, I mean, the collection array? He did. And
Looks like he
he's
did. Yeah.
pushing all the way in. And this looks like it's going to be a sacrificial force.
Yeah, but well worth it. Now all of a sudden, oh no! But can he get these prisms? The prisms take so long to make.
Oh, yeah. Mixu
That's going to be
is...
huge.
And he didn't even push in. I don't get it. Why didn't he not defend when he...
I think he was worried that there was going to be a follow-up force that was going to go
Blank
jump
him?
on his other resourcing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Or maybe he knows he's got these units trapped and he's like, I don't have to attack him now. He waits for his Archangel. Boom!
oh!
Nice! Oh, and those guys are all surrounded. They can't not get out of there. So many are just going down there.
Is one going to live to tell the tale?
These last 5 on move command are like, please don't kill us.
Yeah.
No! Bah.
Pay no attention. Pay no attention.
Yeah.
Gone.
Yeah. All
Okay,
right.
so the Archangels are out. It looks like Mixu's going for his Argent battery. I forget what the actual name of the upgrade is, but Argent Energy.
Oh, good call. Photoreceptors.
That's it.
I've been reading the new ones. You know what I learned today? Skyward Salvation.
Yeah, that's a fun one.
That's a cool
it's not
one.
just like
Yeah. I've been calling it Healing Rays. And I'm like, what is that one called? Skyward Salvation. But now we got those Kree out you were talking about. And look at what they're doing.
Are they going to initiate their rollout and try to like get in the way of some of the other Argents so they can't retreat? Maybe not.
What
See
are
some
these
scanners out on the
scanners?
map as well. What patch is this? We have
Yeah,
scanners
yeah.
on the map?
Someone's building scanners in a Celestial versus Celestial mirror match. Okay.
All right.
New meta
You know what would
dropped.
be really cool, actually? Oh, and we see both. Okay, both players are going for the Argent range upgrade, and it looks like High is going for the going for the next Kree upgrade, that lets them move around as they're starting to self-destruct.
Oh, correct. What's that bad boy called? I wish it. There's no
It's like
tooltips up
Blaze
here.
of Light or
Yeah.
something.
Yes. Yes. That sounds right.
We should come up with a community name for it, like Walk and Die or something.
Zombie Kree or something.
Zombie Kree. There we go.
Oh, Archangel
And-
above, looking for somewhere to splat, and oh, he gets a good one.
Activates Avatar. He's going to start doing so much AoE damage. He's going to live. No, he gets picked off. Now it's going to be Argents versus Argents, but all that splash damage that Mixu was able to do against this this Argent force of High, really paying off here.
I agree.
Yeah, and I think that entire ball is just dead.
It's getting chased down. It does slip out just a little bit at the back there. A lot of weak
But holy
Argents.
casualties. Yeah, that was wild.
Another Archangel out. I wonder if that's going to be the difference in this match. We've got a couple of good Archangel connections so far that have really helped to reduce the Argent numbers of HYY.
Archangels, and honestly, I think I'm surprised we don't see any Animancers out yet. Dark Prophecy would be absolutely brutal against these large clumped up forces of Argents.
That's very true. And not to mention some unseen veil tricks all of a sudden. There's a Purify. Interesting, that was sort of an aggressive or forward Purify where he attacked and pushed into it, as instead of casting it on his army, sort of moved into it. And I wonder if Mixu feels like he's got the advantage, because he's pushing down here.
Oh, does manage to get a collection array and a prism.
Yeah.
Pretty good. I wonder if Mixu's starting to run away with this game. If he can take out this array as well, that's going to be a huge impact on on High's economy.
Right.
Yeah, and down
Although
it goes.
High did snipe a couple of his arrays earlier, so this might just be
You think it's just things evening out? Their supplies are
yeah.
staying pretty closely the same,
Although
and
I
they are both keeping their luminite pretty low. Ooh,
okay, another engage here. Their supplies are pretty close still. And in this later game, there is a 20 lead for HYY. But when it's this later game, I think that 20 lead might be in reinforcements or something.
yeah, yeah. You can see him walking across the map now. It's not like it's those 20. Oh, and they're gonna come forward and
Oh,
explode right in the middle of the army. Beautiful.
oh,
Yeah,
another purify
any
going
amount of
down.
AOE that you can get would be just fantastic.
Ooh, there's an arc station up here for that skyward salvation. Woo! But there's a scanner right there with his eyes on it. Be like, I can see you. I'm invisible. I can see our skyward salvation up there.
You know, I think it would be really cool anyway to see an Arc Fortress come forward and start lasering down an opponent's Arc ships or Arc like just have structure on structure violence. You
That
almost
sounds
never see
fun.
that.
I
Yeah.
like it. Yeah, I've never seen Arc Fortress versus Arc Fortress. Like we always see the Arc Fortress come in like Zada command post or something. But I've never seen one like fly in and try and zot the other Arc Fortress. Here's a huge engage.
Beautiful arc there from High. He's able to he's basically saying it's like, all right, Mixu, if you want to fight into this huge arc, I've got a couple of ranks in the back too that are waiting to fire as well. And those extra seconds that you spend moving forward, especially into such a big force like that, is it's just too much sacrifice. I think he doesn't want to take that fight. I don't think Mixu realizes that there's a little bit of a supply difference. And like you said, at this point in the game, it's so late that I don't know that it's going to matter as much as positioning is going to matter.
Yeah, getting a good engage. And he's been doing good with his Archangels, but in that last Archangel attack, he actually killed 0 Argents. He got a few low, but there was so many Argents there that they focus fired it down before it was able to kill any. And again, we're seeing it, like maybe one there, and they moved out. And again, how many Argents are going down to those meteor strikes?
I don't know, but the fact that he's got the scorched earth upgrade for his archangels means that if they do want to sit there and like take a fight, they're going to be sitting inside of that fire, taking that damage over time. I think it's hard to tell who's got the better of this fight. Mixu's got a better arc, but
Yeah.
High's got a couple extra ranks in the back, and look at all those little skeletons that are littering all over the
Yeah.
floor. What
Ah.
a game one!
I know. I think they did this on purpose. They're like, no rush 10 minutes so that we can have a real battle. Um, there's that
No complaints here.
Animancer. There's that
There it
Animancer.
is. There it is. Finally, that and honestly, that the Animancers being able to provide some of the healing without having something as expensive as an arc ship so far forward is going to be really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, Dark Prophecy's almost done researching here.
Oh, you really
I
are
can't stop
looking at
staring at
that.
that production.
I
Dude,
haven't.
I
I
love it.
barely even
I
looked at
love
it
it.
yet. So I'm glad you're commenting because I'm like, what? I'm still being like, I wish we had one. It's right there.
Also, shout outs to Delaris. I didn't realize this, but the numbers there's hotkeys now as an observer. If you hit the number 1, it'll just show player one's vision. If you hit number 2, player two's vision, and then E shows everyone's vision. So
Oh,
1, 2, and E
nice,
will let you adjust what vision you're
nice.
in.
Whoop. 1, 2. Wait a second. 1, 2. That doesn't seem to be right. Oh, there's a scanner there. I'm like, why is it not switching views? I'm like, oh, there's actually a scanner
Oh,
right
over there on the
there.
9 o'clock side, there's a skirmish going
Oh,
on.
there you go. Good call. I'm playing with my new controls. Oh, this is nice how they've split their armies up. This is huge. I think this is going to be how the meta continues to evolve. Is trying to have little skirmishes here and there on the map, forcing your opponent to micro in more than one location.
I love it. I absolutely love it. And somehow in all those fights, High has gone down to 160 supply to Mixu's 236. Now
Hmm.
it's actually starting to get significant, starting to get scary. I wonder if it's just High has been he's had so many arrays that have been torched that he can't rebuild as fast as Mixu can.
And we're watching as Mixu was able to kind of get a flank on some of those split up squads and is now just deleting one of those squads of HYY. And that supply lead you were talking about is now 100.
Yeah, yeah, I think we're finally starting to see the beginning of the end here of this match, but maybe not. I think taking out power banks would be huge. And this late in the game, I've seen a couple of the Sovereign's Watch or Sovereign's Fury once it's upgraded. I've seen it go down a couple of times, but I think that power is best used on Evo Catalyst just because now that we have so many Argents, they can delete buildings, and
Yeah,
you're not really going to get that much value out of a Sovereign's Watch. Better to use that for to take a camp that'll give you resources or something because I mean really there's no way to quickly recharge that top bar power without building more power banks. And Sovereign's Watch just doesn't last long enough. But if you use it on a creep camp, like not only do you get the resources to build more power banks, you get a little bit on top of that as well to keep building your army.
indeed. There we see some forward power banks going down right there for Mixu. And here we go again. This might be another engage. No, Mixu choosing to pull back from that. He's got his Animancers there, probably just looking for a good engage.
Yeah, and I think it'll be really interesting too once we start seeing the fights happen where there's not as much energy on both sides. Will like it kind of slows down the time to kill. Will the Animancers, once they've, burned off enough energy that they can't use Dark Prophecy anymore, will they use the healing beam? Because, now that your units aren't dying as fast, the heals will have a much greater effect on more of your units. More power banks
Wow.
going down.
Dark Prophecies, but standing in his own Dark Prophecies.
Oh!
Oh, another Meteor Strike coming down. Nice contact, but again, Archangel's getting deleted pretty quickly once they land. Wow,
Yeah,
okay.
High is barely hanging on to triple digit supply here, and Mixu seems to be just unstoppable.
Yeah, I agree. Mixu's probably going to take this game without making a major error. What's going on up here? We got a couple of Rays repositioning, trying to get into steal some of that Luminite from Mixu, but Mixu's just got the supply. He's almost maxed out.
Yeah, it's not too often that we see a player mine out their main, their natural, and the double Luminite, and the game's still going on. But here we are, 18 minutes into this first game in the best of five, and yeah, we're really ripping through the resources on this map. Oh no, the array goes down. Yeah, the prisms are in the wrong place at the wrong time. Oh,
Yeah.
prisms, what are you
Oh,
doing?
but actually, Mixu's little strike force here is going to get cleaned up. This is good for HYY, but at the meantime, the whole army is in on top of Legion Halls, deleting them. Bye bye power banks. You were talking about that. Bye bye the Guardian Nexus here, and now this production is pretty much cleaned. And where are they going? Oh, they're going back. They want to defend now. They made a good strike, and they want to go home and make sure this doesn't turn into a base race situation.
Yeah, but even if it does, I think High's just not. He doesn't have enough DPS. And that's something else that's a little bit, I don't know, annoying. I think there needs to be something adjusted in terms of the win condition here for Celestials, just because you can hide buildings absolutely anywhere. So like a base race can take a long time. It's not like, okay, I'm gonna A move into your main, you A move into my main, and whoever's got the more DPS wins. And there's the GG.
There is our GG in game number one as Mixu takes this one.
All right, Furious Resolve. We're already seeing a scan go down. Oh man, I never realized there was a build animation for the Morph Core. That looked sick.
Oh, with the new Morph Core coming in, how it warps it.
Yeah,
It's the new charge animations. I like them.
yeah, it looks really cool.
It even has a sound, I think. Maybe we can hear it if there's one coming out here. No. Oh, I guess.
But anyway, Furious Resolve is interesting. I think for this matchup, particularly because I think Celestials want to be aggro in this meta because they have so much potential for like, hey, I know if I know where you're at, I can jump on you before you know that I'm coming. But on the four-player maps, you don't get that option anymore. You don't know where your opponent starts off at. So I'm really interested to see how they adapt to that. Do they just go for
Wow.
eco first?
Did you see that
Oh
scan?
no, where?
Mixu just perfectly scanned High's all of High's units that were moving across the map. He just
Oh
scanned
wow,
the Arc ship, the Morph Core, and what else? The first Argent.
what a
Somehow,
catch!
yeah, really, really lucky. So it gets a little head, warning. But what does he do with it? Because it looks like HYY is being aggressive, whereas Mixu has gone for a base.
Yeah, oh no, we don't see this. We don't see Mixu's creation chamber surged yet, and this prism is starting to take damage. He
Yeah,
actually might be wanting to save the surge for the. There we
the
go. Yeah, the unit
Sovereign's
numbers are so
Watch.
low that.
Yeah. But now we have
Oh,
a little
oh.
skirmish out here with the Argents, and it looks like 5 Argents of Hai versus 2 of Mixu. 4 of Mixu now.
Another Sovereign's Watch gets dropped, and he was briefly in the red power was Mixu, but Sovereign's Watch is over, and now he's down. Like he's got quite a power Wow, words, Frank, words. Got quite a power deficit, and another
Right.
Sovereign's Watch
Another
drops,
one.
and that'll be it. He's only got 2 charges now for his
And
top
all
bar
those
abilities.
Argents are doing is walking back and forth. They're paying no cost to get all these Sovereign's Watches
Yeah,
and waste all that energy, which is a huge victory for Hai. Although it looks like Mixu might want to make something happen here, and he's trying to get a little flank with both his forces meeting up. But no, there's not enough here. They're getting picked off one at a time. High drives him back into his corner where his surged
oof,
creation chamber is, but now, the numbers are in High's favor.
yeah. Being able to, and I think that really offensive creation chamber from Hyde, throwing it down inside of the main of Mixu, was a huge contributing factor. Like he's able to reinforce and he's able to activate the prime structure for his, that really far forward aggressive command or not command creation chamber, so that yeah, he's basically just camping the production right now. I think we should be seeing GG any second now. I'm surprised it hasn't come out yet. There it is.
Yeah, there we go. All right, here we are. We're in game number 3 between these two. There's going to be another match on another big map. This is going to be Ruination. And once again, in the blue, this is Mixu. And his opponent in the red, this is Hiya.
Interesting that their morph cores are going for different luminite mines. Looks like High's array is going down on like the 3 o'clock position, whereas Mixu wants to take his pocket natural. I wonder if that's
Indeed.
just because I think by building further forward, High's going to be able to throw down creation chambers over here and react a little bit quicker if something decides to like attack them. Maybe
Perhaps.
I don't know.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or maybe it's signaling that Haya's going to be a little aggressive. We already see, look, surged arc ship floating forward, dropping another creation chamber, like you said, kind of forward creation chamber. Whereas Mixu's back in his base.
Yeah, being able to minimize that travel time is going to be huge. What the other thing that I think is a really big deal is controlling this central vision camp. Um, if you can control this like ultra high ground, yeah, we see another creation chamber getting thrown down here. I think if
Exactly.
you can control this high ground vision, you basically like it guarantees that you get the first shot off in an engagement here for the middle, and then if you can camp and like see where your opponent is relative to the middle, you can basically just keep the Luminite camps, which puts you ahead of your opponent. But yeah, we'll see if he goes for this camp first or not. Looks like he's spending all of his money on structures right now.
Right. Whereas we do have an Argent coming out from Mixu who is moving across. That's a Morph Core we're seeing floating across for Haya. And he's got a power bank and 2 creation chambers, but nothing coming out of them yet. Still has the prime set on his chamber back home, and 2 Argents pop out of it. But where are they headed? Ooh, creation chamber in the
Holy
base.
aggro. It's the Chamber of Secrets. It's not going to get scouted, I bet.
Yeah, I feel like that's what that part of the base is for. Like
Yeah,
when you made this, when they made this map, they're like, make sure you put a little place where you can proxy some buildings.
yeah. And he must have timed that out perfectly. Look how many Argents pop out
Yeah,
immediately when he throws that down.
yeah, good point.
That's a really cool build. I hope the you know what, we need to ask the players for all the replays for this because this is really cool replay fodder to just go check out.
Very true.
Oh
Well, we
no,
will definitely have this one.
Evo Catalyst gets dropped on the Luminite camp here in the bottom left corner, but High's coming on forward. Oh, a double Sovereign's Watch gets popped. Is it going to be enough to save this array? I don't think it will be. This array is going to go down. Yeah, down it goes.
And
So
out they
now he
run to
doesn't.
safety, but a few Arges went down for that.
Yeah,
But wait a
but I
second,
think he's
there's
still
not
got.
enough here from Mixu.
Yeah, I think he's still got numerical superiority, right?
Yeah. And now he's just fighting away from, where the Sovereign's Watch is and having taken out that array. There's no more Sovereign's Watches that can be cast on these buildings. Mixu's Argents are in a tough spot here, and they're all low. They're all being picked off. Haya's just playing Ring Around the Rosie, frankly, around this creation chamber. And
You
there
know,
we
I'm surprised. I'm surprised the Arc Station didn't come forward to try and cast some Skyward Salvations. And there's the GGGGGG from Mixu. High's gonna take this
GGGG.
game.
And here we are. We're at it. We're in game number 4. This one's going to be on Lost Hope. Another big map. These two have been picking the big maps. Maybe that means they're just hoping they get to play a macro game. It's like whoever builds the first Argent loses. I don't know. I don't know how that works, but something like that. Um, just hoping to get some macro in. And
You know, I like this map for the mirror matchup in Celestials just because there's so much wide open space in the center that it gives them room to maneuver. It's like you can have a battle that's big enough where you don't have to worry about getting caught up as much on terrain, and you can worry about positioning like small squads of units. Like, oh, you can kind of flank over on this half of the battle, and you can actually do things mid fight instead of like, all right, well, I'm gonna go try and backdoor or do a drop or something like this.
I do agree with you. One of my favorite parts about this map, this is one of my favorite maps actually, is the open center. That if I want to battle you out on the map, I can find a nice open space, get some flanks set up. And what's also cool is there are some trees and different, tower things that you still have to maneuver around out there where, there's little potential for really good positioning battles on this map.
Yeah, yeah, we'll have to see how that pans out. You know, I shouldn't say surprised, but I wonder why sabers aren't seen more in the matchup. I know that they're really slow, so they can't get away unless they use their that need for speed boost. But
Mass
they do
Accelerator, I know that one.
mass accelerator. Excuse me, sorry. Um, but it seems like that ultra heavy that ultra damage that they do to heavy tagged units would be quite the advantage when you see Archangels and Argents. Man, Mixu's been sitting on yellow power for quite a bit now.
Well, I'm over here watching Haya, so I can tell you Haya is doing fine down here. Has gone up to 3 chambers, or sorry, 3 collection rays, and now getting the 3rd chamber out. And what do we got going on for Mixu? Well, Mixu's already out creeping here, and I see a surge chamber, 2 chambers it looks like. Kind of similar builds, but I think it looks like Mixu's gone a little bit heavier into faster eco, but also
Yeah,
has an army. I'm confused. Maybe I'm not reading this well.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not enough of a celestial to understand um, why it do be like that. But
Because
we'll
Mixu's
find
up
out.
10 supply already. Now that might just we're up to 6 creation chambers from Haya, as well as a second arc ship on the way. 7 creation chambers. So I think he was just definitely going way heavier into the eco and the production, and maybe now that he has 7 creation chambers up, he's gonna just start ramping out Argents, assuming he can afford it.
Yeah. Um, yeah, this is pretty interesting. I also think it's pretty cool that this map is big enough that they want to race to run around and get the different creep camps, just because that the eco boost is so huge that they need every single luminite that they can get if it means
Yeah.
if it
What's
means getting a little bit more production, because they've clearly got the production structures. It's just a matter of being able to spend all that money once you're making it all.
exactly?
Yeah. But
What
money is one of those things that they're never going to be short on this map. They can always go build another array somewhere else, or another Evo catalyst here.
Yeah, especially if they're gonna stay on Argent Tech, they don't even have to worry about the Therium on this map, which can be a worry, especially if you're Infernal. But if they're just worried about pumping out Argents, they can just drop arrays on every single mine on the map.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
I
they're
think it'll
saying,
also be interesting to see. Do we see? Do you think we'll see archangels doing backdoor attacks onto arrays? Just because there's not really a good way of halting an archangel from moving around the map. It's a flying unit. It can go over all the impassable terrain. It doesn't worry about terrain features. Um, so why not send a hit squad of like 4 archangels, take out a collection array, then lift off, maybe bonk a couple of prisms and leave, because they're so tanky that, like, maybe your Argent Ball can get there in time, maybe not, but if your Argent Ball is across the map, like that's kind of it. And just for the cost of 4 archangels, taking out an array and all those prisms is definitely worth it.
yeah, I can see that happening. Although we got a little skirmish over the speed camp here, that they're not unwilling to kind of engage fully. There's a few Argents here caught in the middle of the map. They're gonna get picked off.
Yeah.
But they haven't yet fully committed. And HYY with a 10 supply lead. He was behind before, and he's now caught up and got in a lead, and that might be on top of his eco in those 7 chambers.
I think the fact that this matchup tends to be so war of attrition means that a lot of these units are going to be spending their time going to the different resource camps. Big fight over here at the 9 o'clock.
Right. But again, neither of them really. It's like, oh, I saw. Oh, you're here too? Nope, never mind. I'm out. Peace.
Yeah.
Little strike force of 5 Arges for Haya trying to take the Therium. But they're not going to get what they wanted. They get chased down for their efforts. And now we might get a big battle in the
Are they gonna
middle.
commit? Oh, Mixu stepping a little bit too far forward. Doesn't lose as many Argents as I thought he would for just move commanding into High's volley shot there, but yeah, look, we're already seeing so many like onesie twosie units going to the different creep camps on the map. And
Yeah.
I think the reason that we saw that lone Seraphim, the Seraphim initiates the fight with a creep camp, so it's taking far reduced damage.
Yeah.
And then all the Argents are back up behind it to do all the DPS.
Yep.
Oh.
Huge engage here. One Seraphim in the front gets taken out, but Mixu with the good concave and with the Archangel coming in. That looked really good for him. Although his units get all bunched up, and again high with the forward, the aggressive purify. It must drain energy, like you said. Else, why would you cast it on your opponent's units?
Yeah.
And again,
we see
we're
it happening
seeing
with
it.
Mixu. Yep. But he used both of his purify charges. He must be trying to end the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, High wants nothing to do with that. He's not going to stand and fight. But man, the recharge on purify is pretty wild. I don't know that, using 1 to kind of force your opponent to micro out of it would be good, but using 2, you no longer have any to fight defensively. Like he's kind of going to be up here with his back against a wall without
true.
a purify to kind of like zone out his opponent.
Although he's still getting really good concaves, and I wonder if he's going to be able to just use that to punch through here. And he's still got 1 Archangel floating above that he can Drop that meteor strike.
Yeah. Oh, another a little flanking
Oh,
force from
huge
high in the back
flank
here.
with an aggressive Purify on top of the flanked units.
Yeah, but the Uno reverse card from this Archangel, he
Yeah,
meteor smashes down and uses his yeah, uses his avatar to just soak up a bunch of hits. Looks like that flank wasn't that effective, and now High is down by about 20-ish supply.
yeah, that didn't work out for him because that flanking force unfortunately just got jumped on really quickly. The meteor strike and it got taken out.
Yeah.
Lots of white-blooded corpses out here in the middle of Lost Hope right now.
Yeah. Oh, here's something else that I want your take on. So the most interesting part of the patch notes for 0.4 for me was that Fiends will now drop a corpse.
Ooh.
Why did
Oh
they need
yeah.
to drop a corpse? Oh no, big fight! Huge meteor smash is going down. High taking all kinds of casualties.
Why? You think there's something special behind that?
I don't know which faction's going to get it. It's either going to be Celestials or Infernals, but someone's going to get a like
Corpse
they're going to
mechanic.
get some kind of mechanic that uses the corpses.
I would love that. But here's my poo-pooing. Is I think it's for phantoms.
Oh no!
Oh my
Did you see that?
goodness. Yes. Both the Arc Fortress and the Arc Ship taken out here. Mixu pushing forward. This that was a devastating blow. Does he have any arc? Oh, he's building 2 new Arc Ships right now to recover from that.
And that's so expensive. Like
Yeah.
that's all money that could have been Argent's that's not Argent's
Yeah. Oh
anymore.
no, and now he's flanked in.
Oh,
Oh,
another huge hit from this Archangel.
HYY
Ay,
once
ay,
again trying to
ay.
get a good concave, but not having enough units, I think. And
Is
we've
a
got a
lone
60
Uzi.
supply lead now.
Ay, ay, ay.
So
Yeah, and
Mixu is
High's been
eager.
on yellow power for a while now too. Ah,
He's eager to get this win back in, and he's not taking any chances. He's, he could have continued and tried to force up and force that battle, but he pulled back and is just adding more supply on top.
I keep seeing scanners too. The scanners are spotting other scanners that are in the trees, and I just saw the Argents like burn one down.
Oh,
And it
really?
was yeah, it was kind of cool to watch. They're I think they know that like because positioning is such a big deal in this
Yeah.
matchup that being able to see where your opponent's at, you can kind of oh, is this Archangel gonna get taken out? No,
Oh.
activates Avatar. Yeah, neither player wants to fight into that ramp, but I think
Oh.
Mixu's kind of forcing the issue here. He's like, fine, if you won't fight my army, I'll just go kill all your production.
Exactly.
Yeah, all
And
those
now
power banks are gonna go down.
his units want
Ugh.
to get out of that, but they're locked up there. And yeah, Mixu trying to chase them down now. I don't know if I like that. I think he should have been pushing up into the base still. Let High dance on the high ground. Although maybe once again he's trying to make sure he doesn't throw the game by just like I said, I'm like, a move up the ramp, but that's how you lose sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, those choke points are nothing to joke about. And the supply difference is now 130. We're almost seeing Mixu gonna get maxed out here pretty soon. No, the Archangel gets taken out.
But yeah, you just gotta push up the ramp now. There's GG from High.
A respectable amount of marbles. They don't, they're not. It's not every single marble belongs to them, but they still have a large number, an enviable amount of marbles, one might say.
Yeah, there will be more marbles to be won. So you're right. It's not all the marbles. They will only be winning a respectable amount of semifinal marbles.
Yeah, correct.
Now that
That's
we've
I assume that's the academic jargon for how
Yeah,
many
now that
marbles.
we've decided all the marbling, we're able to get into the game. And these players have not changed who they are. They have not changed what factions they're playing. They may have changed colors because I can't tell anymore. But they're also both
Um,
flying their arc ships straight at each other.
they're surged arc ships. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's I wonder what happens. Like if they meet in the middle, is this like what would happen if two manatees decided to fight? They just bump into each other a whole bunch
exactly.
until one of their friends show up. I don't know what
They
happens.
just collide and sort of force each other to the side a little, like, move to the right, buddy. That's pretty much all they can do. Push each other around.
They're not going to see each other moving past though, which is interesting. And
Yep.
neither of them is surged anymore.
Two arc ships passing in the night. Oh, okay, it's not the night because we are on Boneyard. That does not have the day-night cycle.
Are they
Luke.
mirroring each other's building placement? No, they're not. High's actually got the further forward. He's got the further forward creation chamber here.
Yeah, he's more. He seems a little more aggressive to me with his build.
Yeah, I can't
And
get over how cool that warping in morph core looks.
right, and he's got two morph cores leading his charge too. I'm not sure what that's
Yeah.
about. Are they going to be part of the strike force, or are they just? Oh, one of them turned into another creation chamber. Are we up to four chambers? Four
See,
chambers on two
one,
bases. Five chambers.
3, 4, 5. Yeah. Oh no, and it gets scouted. All right, so Mixu knows he's got to turn around and defend because he sees which one's primed. He sees oh
Right, but
no, but hi, you
he
know you've been
switches.
scouted.
He switches prime too late, and a lot of his are just popped out at the top of the map, and he has to run them back down home.
Yeah, High's not taking advantage of the situation though, and I think Mixu wants to take the fight while his Argents are sitting inside of
Healing
the
camp.
health regen camp. Yeah,
And that's definitely going to be the advantage for him. Look at them. They're just regenning. Already that's an advantage for Mixu. He's got a couple
yeah,
extra kills.
yeah. And
And
there's no moving these creation chambers once they can't be defended anymore. That's a pretty big loss of production and honestly like time. Like what do you do after that? Do you just go home?
yeah,
Do you
that's
hope that Skyward Salvation like sticks to your units? Because I think the moment they take damage, Skyward Salvation vanishes.
agreed.
It's only good until they take damage.
Yeah. And that's the not the case about the healing from the healing camp. So that's why this is a double advantage kind of for Mixu.
Yeah, he's got to make hay while the sun shines. Though this the healing camp is a lot further. It's a lot more ticked down. I don't know what you call that. It's a lot more expired than I thought it would be. I thought there would be a lot more fights with it active. It looks like it's not yet. I trying to make up for it by going down and killing those two oozes. Oh, and he's gonna chill inside of the energy regen camp to get his
Yeah, that is
to
helpful
get
with
energy.
this Argent Wars, right? With the extra energy.
Absolutely.
But Mixu with more units and getting a concave on the high ground, I think that's just hard to fight into.
Yeah. Now throwing down a power bank that far forward, I at first I thought it was kind of a bad idea. Like I get it, you need to get on green power as quickly as possible, so you just build it. And I was thinking like, well, but it's still in a pretty vulnerable spot. But not if you want your arc ship to continue to be able to do that Skyward Salvation.
Yeah,
Huge concave here from Mixu.
yeah,
I think he's just got more Argents. I think this is gonna
yeah,
be it.
yeah.
Mixu might be taking the game.
I don't think this was a good fight for Hai to take, but at the same time, I think Hai's trying to do the best that he can with what he's got. And when you're just outnumbered like this, you know, what can you do? What can you do?
Yeah, I think the writing's on the wall here. Once these last couple of Argents get cleaned up and the creation chambers and the power banks go down, that'll be it. Maybe, but Mixer, you got to take advantage of your health regen camp. Send your really weak guys back there.
Yeah,
High's not going down without a fight though. He's like, you know what? If you want me out of this game, you're gonna have to force me out of this game.
exactly. I may only have five Argents left, but each one of them is going to fight. And there we go. Finally, GG
There's
from
the
Hai.
GG.